The following day at noon, Song Chiu-kyu and Jiang Chuxuan bid farewell to Xu Jingming outside his accommodation, mentioning they will need him to guide them again once school starts. Xu Jingming smiles warmly, thanking the two girls for keeping him company during the holiday. He waves goodbye as they drive off together in a red sports car. Left to his own devices, Xu Jingming stretches his arms and resolves to hurry to the thunderstorm zone, noting that he has less than a week left in the secret realm to gather as many thunder crystal cores as possible. As Xu Jingming heads toward his destination, a suited subordinate observing from the shadows uses an earpiece to notify his superior that the target is entering the thunderstorm zone, urging her to arrive quickly. Relaxing in a luxurious room elsewhere, Li Wanying receives the message on her phone and eagerly agrees to head over immediately. As she stands up to leave, a man in the room notices her departure and asks where she is going. With a sinister red gleam in her eyes, Li Wanying informs her older brother that she is going to fetch his birthday present, claiming it is something she has spent a long time carefully preparing. Her brother Li Shenglin smiles confidently and expresses his anticipation for the gift. Meanwhile, deep within the forested thunderstorm zone, Xu Jingming effortlessly yanks his new S-class spear from the bloody, furry carcass of a large beast he just defeated. Sensing he is being watched, he looks over his shoulder and calmly calls out to his pursuers, pointing out that they have been tracking him for a long time. Uncle Li emerges from the foliage, flanked by two suited subordinates. He applauds the young university student, praising him for having such surprisingly keen perception, despite only being a Tier 3 high rank. Xu Jingming narrows his eyes at the strangers, stating he doesn't recognize them and demanding to know why they are following him. Stepping out from behind her men, Li Wenying strikes a haughty pose in her black dress and declares that even if he doesn't know her retainers, he should definitely remember her. Recognizing his auction rival, Xu Jingming asks if they are there to steal his S-class spear. Li Wenying sadistically corrects him, revealing she intends to take his life as well, though she mockingly laments the impending loss of his handsome face, teasing that he could have been the leader of her harem if he hadn't crossed her. Unfazed by her threats, Xu Jingming calmly questions her cruelty, noting her greedy intention to take his life along with his newly acquired weapon. With a sinister smile, Li Wanying declares that the weak have no right to speak before the strong. She demands that he kneel and kowtow for a swift death, warning that defiance will earn him a slow, agonizing execution. Xu Jingming agrees with her twisted logic regarding the weak and the strong. In response, he immediately channels his ability, causing fierce golden lightning to erupt from his body. His hair stands on end and glows brilliantly as raw electricity surges around his form. He remarks that their failure to properly investigate his identity means they completely misjudged who holds the true power in this encounter. The sheer intensity of his aura generates a shockwave that blows Li Wanying back, leaving her utterly bewildered by his sudden, terrifying spike in strength. Grinning fiercely, Xu Jingming assesses his opponents, noting they consist of two Tier 4 mid-ranks and two Tier 4 low ranks. Unintimidated, he mockingly invites the entire group to attack him at once. Realizing the situation has turned dire, a panicked Uncle Li commands his three suited subordinates to execute a coordinated all-out strike against the glowing student. As the four men lunge at him, Xu Jingming raises a hand crackling with intense energy and unleashes his divine lightning technique. Massive, blinding pillars of electricity crash down from the sky, simultaneously striking Uncle Li and all of his henchmen with devastating precision. The overwhelming voltage brutally crushes the attackers directly into the scorched earth. Watching her entire elite escort get instantly annihilated in a single move, a pale and trembling Li Wanying realizes she needs to run for her life immediately. She desperately turns to flee but clumsily trips over a branch. She crashes to the forest floor, staring up in absolute terror as an intimidating Xu Jingming looms over her, coldly announcing that her turn has come. Scrambling backward in the dirt, the horrified heiress stammers, asking who he really is and how a mere student could possess such terrifying strength. Xu Jingming calmly reiterates his identity as a Magic City Ability University student, sarcastically reminding her that she was the one confidently trying to murder him just moments ago. Terrified and scrambling backward on the ground, Li Wanying tearfully admits her mistake. She begs Xu Jingming for mercy, offering him tens of billions in cash and a guarantee of safe passage if he spares her life. Growing increasingly desperate, she clutches her chest and offers to serve him personally, claiming she is just as appealing as the two women he had by his side. Xu Jingming coldly rejects her proposition, stating that his excellent friends cannot be compared to someone whose body is so severely corrupted by lust and drugs. He dismissively adds that he is a germaphobe and considers her far too dirty to touch. Humiliated and enraged by the harsh insult, Li Wanying drops her pitiful act. She curses him and screams that if he kills her, her father and brother will retaliate by murdering his entire family and skinning him alive. Unmoved by her gruesome threats, Xu Jingming calmly accepts her terms and raises a hand crackling with intense golden electricity. With a swift motion, he brings down a massive, devastating pillar of lightning directly onto her. As smoke billows from her charred remains, Xu Jingming turns his back on the carnage, reflecting that those who seek to kill must be prepared to die themselves. He decides against looting their space rings, reasoning that elite families usually install tracking devices on such items. Meanwhile, at a luxurious estate, an automated system suddenly blares a warning that the user of smart wristband number 003 has lost all vital signs. Sitting comfortably on his sofa, Li Shenglin is immediately jolted with shock, recognizing that the specific wristband belongs to his sister, Li Wanying. Furious, he demands to know who dared to murder his little sister, ordering his men to lock onto her final location immediately. His uncle checks his device and reports that the wristband's connection is completely lost, but its last ping was at the edge of the thunderstorm zone. Li Shanglin is bewildered, confused as to how she could meet a fatal accident there when she was supposed to be fetching his birthday present. He quickly orders the uncle to contact his sister's guard squad to find out what happened. Checking a tablet, the uncle grimly informs him that all 4 squad members have also lost their vital signs and are completely unreachable. Narrowing his eyes in deep anger and disbelief, Li Shanglin realizes that Uncle Li and the entire escort team were wiped out. He wonders who could possibly possess the overwhelming strength required to kill the veteran guards before they could even send out a single warning message. The uncle theorizes that the killer might be a peak tier 4 expert, or that the guards simply underestimated their opponent. He notes that the culprit was cautious enough to leave the storage rings untouched, making it much harder to track them down. When the uncle asks if they should inform the family head, Li Shanglin rejects the idea, explaining that his father is currently in secluded cultivation attempting to reach Tier 7 Grandmaster. Instead, he orders the uncle to retrace his sister's recent activities and contacts to find a lead. The uncle acknowledges the command and immediately begins investigating on his device, while a frustrated Li Shanglin rubs his temples. Reviewing the data, the uncle reports that aside from a past conflict with the Wang family, Li Wanying had recently tried to purchase an S-class spear for her brother's birthday, but was outbid by someone else 2 days ago. Snapping to attention, Li Shanglin demands the buyer's name. The uncle identifies the buyer as Xu Jingming, a Magic City Ability University student using an S-class pass. He lists the student's impressive credentials, noting his status as a top provincial scorer and a Tier 3 user with an S-rank ability. Connecting the dots to his sister's earlier comment about fetching his present, Li Shanglin points decisively, concluding that Xu Jingming must be the murderer. The uncle cautiously warns that targeting an S-rank genius could cause significant trouble. Consumed by rage and grief, Li Shanglin furiously dismisses the concern, vowing to take a life for a life regardless of the student's high-profile status. He abruptly stands up and instructs his uncle to accompany him. Li Shanglin plans to ambush Xu Jingming at the exit of the thunderstorm zone, requesting the older man's assistance in executing the student if he fails to do it himself. Meanwhile, back in the forest, a calm Xu Jingming uses a small knife to carve a glowing purple thunder crystal core from the carcass of a fallen beast. Examining his latest prize with a satisfied smile, Xu Jingming calculates his total haul, 17 Tier 4 Thunder Beasts slain, yielding 4,250 ability points and 17 crystal cores. He decides this is enough resources to finally achieve his breakthrough and liquefy his lightning in one continuous session. With his gathering complete, Xu Jingming turns and walks away through the dense, blood-stained forest, ready to return.